It's officially October, the month of spooks and scares and candy and razor blades. But most importantly, scary games. Considering I've basically rebranded this channel as a good place for horror gaming buffs to find refuge, this is the perfect month to put out some good horror gaming content. I've got a lot of content planned ahead for you guys for the month, but for now, we're going to talk about Silent Hill's highly unknown mobile game, Silent Hill Orphan. I bet you've never heard of or cared for this game. You know, just like an orphan.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But if you don't know about this game, it was released back in 2007, which means it's old enough to vote this year. And it was a mobile game. No, not that kind of mobile game. That kind of mobile game. This was back in the day when the coolest thing your phone had on it was this, Brick Breaker, and whatever cool and hip ringtone you had to showcase your bombastic personality, yo. And speaking of hips, please forgive that cracking sound you just heard. I was getting up to go get my pills for my dementia. Anywho, this game is unlike any of the other Silent Hill games because it's not freely moving around in a 3D environment and exploring for hidden key items like Silent Hill usually is. It's more so an old-school first-person point-and-click adventure where you have to search for key items within flat, pre-rendered images meant to look like rooms. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we begin, like with the Resident Evil 4 mobile edition and the Nokia game, this game is barely available to get anywhere, so it took a bit of effort and trial and error to get this game to work. I work very hard on these videos, so if you guys could help me out by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and all that good stuff, I would greatly appreciate it. With that out of the way, let's dive in and explore Silent Hill Orphan, or Silent Hill Mobile if you're from Europe, whatever. So when you first start the game, you're greeted with a screen to choose if you want sound and vibration on. Once you hit continue, the game immediately makes you regret having the sound on.
Oh my fucking god.
Before starting the game, we're given a quick rundown of the functions on this interaction wheel here. When you click on an object, you'll be prompted to do any of these 4 actions. The eye is so you can examine it, the hand is so you can interact with it, the lips are so you can talk to or taste it, and the backpack is so you can search your inventory for an item to use on it. Say if you click on a locked box, you can choose the key out of your inventory to unlock it. And no, before you ask, you can't just go around using the lips to give all the monsters head. I tried. So now the game starts and we're greeted by a short monologue by our protagonist named Ben, someone who stayed at the orphanage this game takes place in. When I first played this, I thought this might have been the Hope House orphanage just outside of Silent Hill, but this game doesn't take place in that orphanage. It takes place in another separate orphanage created for this game called Shepherd's Orphanage. Why does this small town have so many orphanages? Good question. Next question. In his introduction, he tells us that all of his peers died 30 years ago in the orphanage and he was the only survivor, and he came back to this place hoping to understand why he was spared. The game starts with us in the entrance to the orphanage, a door on the left and a door on the right. The door on the left leads to an office with a safe hidden behind a painting, but there appears to be nothing I can use in this room just yet, so I'll have to come back later. I take a moment to look through my inventory and praise Ben for seemingly being the only Silent Hill protagonist smart enough to carry a gun.
Yep. Good thing. I already like this horror protagonist.
We leave the office and choose the door on the right and are greeted with a dark and creepy hallway and a voice talking to us and enter a dining room. I miss a key item and decide I don't need anything here and choose to walk down the hall instead. And I'm greeted by the first puzzle, a clock puzzle where I have to click all the buttons in the correct order. I complete it and the puzzle swings open and I am assaulted with this strange voice making fun of me like we're in a COD lobby.
You should kill yourself.
We head down the hall and see a set of stairs leading up and down. We head upstairs and into the second floor bathroom to hear someone yelling at us from the ventilation hole. As it turns out, we weren't the only survivors of the massacre. Someone else who was in the orphanage as a child named Karen yells at us from the ventilation hole that she needs help. We investigate the bathroom further and find that the bathroom door is padlocked shut, obviously implying that we need to come back with a key. I mean, you could probably just crawl under the bathroom door. Why do we need a key? Is Ben fat or something? Did the children of the orphanage all die because he stole all the food? Fucking fatty. This room is a bedroom with 2 bunk beds and a very obvious pair of red shoes on the left. I investigate them, and Ben only says he doesn't think they're meant to be here. I didn't realize it at the time of playing, but this room was also essentially meant to function as something of a resupply area for bullets and health items, as the dresser contains a seemingly infinite number of first aid kits and bullets. For some reason though, you can only carry 3 bullets and 2 first aids at a time. I don't know why. 3 bullets isn't even enough for a full magazine. I head back downstairs and go to the kitchen area with the stove and a pot of some unknown substance and some small logs that Ben is apparently too pussy to lift up for some reason. At this point, I got totally lost and spent the next 12 hours running around the orphanage not knowing what the hell I had to do. I went back to the room with the shoes only to realize that I was playing the game like a Silent Hill game and not like a point-and-click adventure game.
Wait. Oh, we can check each individual drawer?
The game wants you to investigate every individual drawer rather than the entire dresser like you would interacting with it in a normal Silent Hill game. I check the bottom one of these drawers and get a key item, a lighter, but there's 2 other key items I'm missing. The candle in the dining room and a pair of tongs in the bathroom. See, I didn't know what the hell I was doing and had no clue what I needed to do, so thank you to my friend Slayer for backseating me. Now, maybe I'm just a stupid smooth-brained zoomer, but I could not tell at all that this game wanted me to pick up this particular candle off the wall. Nothing about it seemed to stick out to me, so I got rather annoyed when I figured out that was what it wanted me to do. Or I would have if I wasn't making fun of Ben for saying that a candlestick on the dining table was too heavy.
Wait a minute, candlestick too heavy? You are a pussy.
Anyway, we take the lighter, candle, and tongs back to the kitchen and melt the candle in the pot to reveal a small key. This key opens up the locked bathroom door to reveal a symbol on the wall. I touch it, and the game once again makes me regret leaving the sound on.
Alone more. Oh my fucking god.
Before I continue, on the topic of sound, I'd like to point out that this game is, for some reason, extremely quiet. There's barely any music, ambiance, or sound effects, and the music that's there lasts about 5 seconds and feels like taking a cheese grater to your eardrums. So now we're in the Otherworld of Silent Hill. In the words of Harry Mason, the world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life. In other words, it's Silent Hill going from fucked up to mega fucked up. And here is where we fight our first ever enemy, this weird looking thing. And here's what the blood-pumping, action-packed combat looks like in Silent Hill Orphan. Yeah, it's about what you'd expect. You have to very specifically go over their body until you find the proper area to shoot. It's really annoying. There's also about 6 fights with these guys total throughout the game, not including the absolutely incredible boss fight. But that's for later in the video. I honestly don't think the monster design in this game is that cool or terrifying. It kind of just looks like a spider with arms to me. And yes, I did say monster design, singular. This is the only monster you fight in this game, and there's only 6 of them. Skipping ahead a bit, we encounter our first ever riddle in the game, another thing the Silent Hill series is known for. Honestly, this was the highlight of my playthrough. I love Silent Hill riddles, and I really enjoyed figuring this one out. It's in the same place as where the safe is in the normal world, so the place to go for it is pretty obvious. It's a really good riddle. So now I'm going to shift gears in this video and move away from summarizing this game and focus more on the actual systems, mechanics, and characters for a bit, and then show you the final boss. Maybe it's just me, but it felt like searching around and clicking around was incredibly frustrating because some of the items I had to get felt like they didn't stand out very well against the one-tone background. Like this is where I have to get a key from this figure sticking out of the wall.
Oh. Got it. Yeah. That's really fucking annoying, I'm not gonna lie to you.
There's only one time I think I remember using the talk button, and it was when you played as Karen and had to yell for Ben. It felt like it might as well have not even been there to begin with. The game actually has 3 playable characters total, despite this game only being like an hour long. Ben, Moon, and Karen, all of whom came to the orphanage because of their separate traumas surrounding it. Ben dies and Moon goes missing at the end of her section, leaving only Karen to find the manager of this establishment. Alright, so let's jump back to the story and wrap this up. It's revealed earlier that the voice talking to our protagonist is the voice of Alessa, the centerpiece antagonist of Silent Hill, the girl who served as the vessel for the god meant to be born at the end of Silent Hill 1, a really important character in the series, and this is the final boss when you follow her voice to the final room.
I won.
Yeah, that was the entire final boss. This game ends with Alessa telling us that Moon, the second playable character, would like to have a word with us. Then a to be continued shows up on screen and we're sent back to the main menu. And that's where the game ends. Aside from Alessa's name showing up, there's not much of anything about this game that would tell me that it's Silent Hill, except for the halo of the sun in the Otherworld, I suppose. It was a pretty mediocre point-and-click adventure game with some high points like a good riddle or two, but not much else. It feels like I'm ending this video rather prematurely, so now is a good time to tell you that this game, in fact, has 2 sequels. 2 sequels that I will be covering very soon for the month of October. If you guys would like to see that and get the continuation and the conclusion of this saga, feel free to subscribe, share, like, comment, all that stuff to support the channel. Your support means the world to me, and I love making videos. Thank you guys. My name is Dom, and I will talk to you later.